Sixtano for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
OnSideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your OnSide Radio E-Report with Kai Chen Chisholm.
The most popular game distributor on PC is now having a huge sale where you can find over 2,101 deals, including new deals each Monday. Of course, I'm talking about Steam. Steam is currently the biggest distributor of games on PC. Like the Xbox Marketplace and the PlayStation Store, it's where you can find your games, download, and play them directly on your console, or in this case, on your computer. These deals will be coming around every single Monday, and they'll be updating things, and you can find games such as Left 4 Dead, the Call of Duty franchise, and much more on ridiculous sales up to 80 to 90% off for some of your favorite games. Of course, like I said, all games will be updated and all deals will be updated every single Monday. This goes along with what Steam does every single year with their Steam winter and summer sales.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the OnSide Radio E-Report. Wake up and good morning. Welcome to Toasted Sports.
What day of the week is it?
What does it feel like?
Tuesday.
Well, it's Tuesday.
Who are these people?
They are hilarious.
You are hilarious.
They're seriously so funny.
You best put seatbelts on your ears, because I'm going to take them for the ride of their lives.
It's where fun meets awesome.
You are going to love this.
Welcome to the show.
It's showtime.
Here's Toast.
Now Patrick Hornquist won't put up with it. Ruda goes back at him. Round one goes to Florida.
I am back. 8:04 Tuesday morning. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Toasted Sports. I am him.
I am so glad you got the spirit to be here today.
Sean Stanley sitting shotgun as always. Why wouldn't I have the spirit to be here today?
I'm just happy.
Yeah, listen. Nice little jaunt up to the old 860 Connecticut, my old stopping grounds for Mother's Day to surprise the mom and quickly visit her. It was phenomenal. Worked out perfectly, man.
That's
Walked up
great.
there. Dad picked me up. She had no idea.
That's awesome, man.
Dad
That's awesome.
drops me off in the driveway, so he pulls into the garage. I go up to the front door of the house. I knock. And, I walk in, she sees me, and she just cries. Just cries and hugs me for like 10 minutes.
Wow. That had to be
It was great.
emotional,
It was
man.
phenomenal. It was
That
absolutely phenomenal. I'm a mama's boy, so it was great. Hadn't seen them in, like a year and a half, almost a year and a half, over a year and a half. So it was very, very good. It was nice to get out of here and get some highs in the 60s, bro.
Oh,
Highs in the 60s.
damn you.
Son of a bitch, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Meanwhile, it's like 100 degrees down here. The amount of crotch sweat going on
Yeah, I was
down
gonna say,
here
it's
is
so funny when you
unbelievable.
leave and you come back and you
Oh.
walk right off. As soon as
Yeah.
you walk off the plane,
Yeah,
it's like,
you're just hit with it. You're here with it. Oh,
God.
damn. There you go. Yep. There you go.
Can I get back on?
So it was good, man. It was worth it. Absolutely
That's
was
awesome.
worth it. And sorry it didn't work out for me getting back yesterday.
Hey.
But, hey, listen, when you barely spend any money on an airline ticket, if the return flight gets a little screwed up, then what are you really can't bitch when you only spend $120 round trip.
If they ain't got money to fix a plane,
exactly,
it's okay.
Exactly. We spend a little more, they're going to fix the plane faster. Whatever. All good.
The duct
So
tape
you-
on the wing, there's none to worry
Yeah,
about.
so instead, yesterday you got to hear a replay of the Inter Miami game where we got robbed.
Yeah, we did.
Robbed. I was watching that up in Connecticut. That was brutal, bro.
That was rough. I mean, I counted at least 2 penalty kicks and possibly 3. The handball, the goalie tripping. Come on. I don't know who that referee was. We'll talk to Austin Robillard tomorrow.
It's the Miami bias.
That was
It's
disturbing.
reached the MLS now.
That was disturbing. We'll have Austin on tomorrow. Today, though, going to talk with Ira. He got a huge game tonight. Huge game tonight against the Seas. Knocked them out the other day. If they take care of tonight, then the season is effectively over. They will have clinched the 6th seed. The 6th seed. So they will be out of the play-in tournament if they can pick up a dub tonight.
Big game.
The biggest game of the season. Biggest game of the season, because I believe tonight's game directly will impact what sort of run this team might go on. If they have a week off and don't have to play in the play-in tournament, then I think they may get out of the first round. If they don't have a week off and have to do this play-in thing, I'm not overly optimistic they get out of the first round. So for me, it's a huge game tonight. Biggie. Marlins, rough one last night. That Jesus Aguilar, though, man, he just keeps pounding the ball.
Yeah, as long as he's not in Lone Depot Park. He's okay, as long as he's not in Lone Depot Park, which might be a little bit of an issue.
Oh, man. I don't know. Listen, this is why I've been saying. This is why I have been saying, everyone's saying, oh, they got the best run differential in the division. They do. But if you were to make that 12-run game and that 14-run game early in the season more along their average, that pretty much cancels out the plus 17 on run differential.
Yeah.
So, listen, it's what I've been saying this entire season. I've been saying the whole first 2 months of this season that I think this team is ahead of schedule in terms of the plan for when they were supposed to be a contending team after making the playoffs surprising last year, off to a start this year with the pitching. Like, if you just went out and got them a bat, if you went out and got a bat, not the best bat in the league, but just show that, you know what, let's at least let's push a couple of chips in on this season. You have to put them all in, but, put in dude. Oh.
I think the word is consistently good bat. I think we got some good bats. They're just not consistent.
No, you need a guy to put in the middle of the order. They don't have that guy right now. You don't have a dependable guy you can just stick there.
You're right.
But I'm just saying it would be nice. It would be nice. I just think that this team's ahead of schedule, and it'd be nice if the front office and the ownership could maybe adjust their plan a little bit to recognize that this team is better than they thought they would be right now, and maybe make a move. Not a huge move.
You can't waste these arms, especially with the injuries and pitchers.
And here's the thing. You got 2 stud pitchers on their way back. Hernandez is going to be back here in probably a couple of weeks. He's about to go off on a rehab assignment. Sixto is still about a month away, maybe a month and a half away. But, so you're going to be getting additions to that starting staff. I'm just saying it would be nice if the front office and the ownership could maybe do a slight pivot and maybe acknowledge that this team is a bit better and make some sort of a move. You don't give up the farm system. I'm not asking for you to go ahead and get Mike Trout, for crying out loud, or something crazy like that. But just go out and get an upgraded bat. And you could use, there's a couple spots in the lineup where you could use an upgraded bat. So let's not act like this lineup is perfect right now. But yeah, and listen, man. So hopefully they can, they got another one against the Diamondbacks tonight. But I think most folks will be focusing on the Heat and the Celtics. Oh, boy, Shawnee boy, we got some soccer tomorrow, too. Is that a home game for us tomorrow, technically, or a road game?
I believe it's a home game for us this time, yeah.
So we're playing Montreal.
Yeah, playing our roommates.
Yeah, playing our roommates here at the stadium tomorrow.
Stepbrothers, if you will.
Little rare Wednesday afternoon game, which is beautiful. Look forward to that.
Nighttime, 7:30.
Oh, it's 7:30. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it's 7:30 start time on that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do the daytime games here. It's just too damn hot.
Well, they always have hydration breaks. Every time we're the 1 o'clock game, there's hydration breaks.
Right. So we got Ira Winderman coming on today. He'll be on in the 9 o'clock hour. David Dwork will be on at 8:40, so we'll talk some Panthers. The big story yesterday, man, and I don't understand. There are people out there that will literally inject race into everything. Into everything. And it happened yesterday with the Tim Tebow news.
Yes.
And oh my God. Like, if you're going to go down that road, then that says, in my mind, that says a lot more about you than it does about this situation. Because in my mind, this situation is so easy to break down why this is happening. Tim Tebow and Urban Meyer obviously have quite a unique relationship that I don't believe any other NFL coach has with a free agent player out there. All right? How many other NFL coaches out there had a stud that they coached in college and they're now in the NFL? Like, he's the only coach that this could happen for, okay? He's in North Florida. Tim Tebow is arguably the biggest celeb to come out of North Florida, certainly in the last 20 years. Okay, some folks on Twitter corrected me. Tom Petty was bigger. Leonard Skinner. All right, Leonard Skinner's been dead for 40 years. Yeah. All right, Tom Petty's been dead for 10. So when it comes
last time I checked, they're not going to be able to help the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They're not going to help the Jacksonville Jaguars catch win football games. So you get my point. He's the biggest celeb to ever come out of North Florida, at least athletic in my mind. And you remember back in the day when he was playing, when he was coming out of college, before the Denver Broncos drafted him, we're like, oh my God, the perfect place for him to land would be Jacksonville. And he would move the needle in Jacksonville. Sell season tickets. That hasn't gone away. That hasn't gone away. Do you realize by signing Tim Tebow, Jacksonville guarantees, in my mind, a minimum of 1,000 season tickets sold?
Oh, and that's probably low.
And
honestly.
I think that's low. So you combine the trifecta of Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer, and Tim Tebow, and the season tickets in Jacksonville just got a giant injection of steroids into them.
On a team that's probably not much better than what it was last year.
Exactly. This team ain't going to be doing anything this year. So who cares if you give a roster spot to a 32-year-old? And also, factor in this. Coaches are always talking about culture, instilling culture. What culture do you have in Jacksonville right now? There's no culture.
Well,
and it's not one that you want to brag about.
Yeah.
Right? So
Minshew.
So Urban Meyer, and listen, I can't stand Urban Meyer. I despise Urban Meyer. I think, I'm not sure he's going to be great at this gig. Listen, you can lump this Tebow signing in with the strength coach that he hired and then had to fire because he was buddies with him or whatever. So I'm not sold that Urban's going to get this done. However, that said, bro, you're not going anywhere this year. Who cares if you give a roster spot to Tim Tebow if he can help create that culture that you had at Florida and at Ohio State in the locker room of Jacksonville? And that's certainly something that Tim Tebow can bring to the table, that culture.
It is, and something that we saw here that Saban couldn't do.
Right. I mean, the dude's got a statue of him an hour south of Jacksonville. He has his quote on the stadium wall of Ben Hill. I mean, come on.
You'll never see any team play harder than us.
If you guys are legit going to go ahead and come at this with, oh, well, if he was a black player, this wouldn't have happened. That's just idiotic. You're looking. Listen, you can put racial stuff in a bunch of stuff nowadays. You can make that argument on a ton of different levels, but not on this story. And if you do, in my mind, it says more about you than it does about the story. That you would go right down that road, because there is absolutely, you name me a black, unemployed pro athlete right now that the Jacksonville Jaguars could sign, that any NFL team could sign, that would result in them instantly selling 1,000 more season tickets minimum. Name one. Name any athlete out there that fits that bill right now. Name anyone any NFL team could sign that would happen. This is an exceptional situation. That's only there because these two guys were together in college, and with all due respect, what he did in college, the dude was a hero. He was a hero. Those two guys are linked together in all-time great lore when it comes to college football. Urban Meyer looks at this guy like it is his son. So the fact that y'all are all surprised and that, oh, this only happened because it's white privilege, just get out of here. Just stop. There's so many legitimate things you can put the white privilege label on. This ain't it. And by putting it on this, you're taking away the impact from that. Just come on, people. Come on. Get your head out of your asses. This is a business move. NFL's $1 billion business. Jacksonville hasn't had a sold-out stadium in how long?
Mark Brunell, I think, was quarterback.
I mean, maybe they had one a couple years ago when they had that great season where they went out when they went out early or whatever. But I mean, seriously, how often does Jacksonville sell out that stadium? Normally, you see more teal in that stadium because of all the empty seats. So just stop. You want to talk about racial inequality in this country? That's fine. We can do that. There's plenty of instances we can point to and have that discussion. This ain't one of them. This ain't one of them. But the amount of hate that I saw yesterday, and I can't stand the Gators. I can't stand Tim Tebow. I'd prefer he's in the Philippines circumcising babies. I can't stand the dude. The whole persona, the virginity, the whole marry miss. He's so friggin' annoying. And Urban Meyer's a slime. He's a slime.
Yep.
So I have no allegiance to either one of these two idiots. But I'm sure as hell not going to go ahead and chalk this up as racism. I mean, give me a break. Some of you guys have really jumped the shark, man. You've really jumped the shark. You need to step back. You need to sit down. You need to have a beer, and you need to just keep your mouth shut for a few minutes. Because, bro, you can't just label everything with that. You can't do it. You can't do it. Come on, man. You're doing it a disservice. That is such a unique situation, and you all know it. You know it's a unique situation that you're not finding anywhere else. Anywhere else. There's no... You can't draw a similarity with any other situation in the NFL, with any other former player. It is a 1 in a million shot. And it was about as predictable a thing that could have happened the minute Urban Meyer took that job. The minute Urban Meyer took that job, Vegas should have had odds. What are the chances Tim Tebow gets signed?
100%, I agree.
I mean, come on. How did not?
My mind went there. Then after a couple weeks when it didn't happen, I was like,
right,
oh, okay, maybe not. And then all of a sudden I was like, boop. I'm like, hey.
Dude, the minute he signed that job, I saw folks on Twitter joke, how many days before Tim Tebow gets there? I mean, come on, guys. Like, we want to talk about serious issues like, systematic racism. We can do that, and we can have an in-depth conversation with thousands of examples, current examples, throughout all industries right now. But this isn't one. So just please stop, okay? We will talk some more. I don't even know what we got coming up, man. We got the news coming up at 8:50. Oh, I almost saw a fight at the airport over social distancing. I will tell you that story coming up next. This is Toasted Sports on OnSideRadio.com.
You can join Toasted Sports by text to 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
WLESPN, broadcasting from a largely empty building. And we do sports.
It's just not local.
Shush, honey.
Why is the building empty?
Because whether it be budget cuts or stupid management, we've fired almost everybody.
Ooh, but we still have our job live and local.
At least the building is.
We've got your sports.
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Hey, it's Toast, and when I got PGT custom windows and doors installed at my house last year from B&T Windows and Doors, I knew that I was protecting my house when it came to hurricanes. But I was also investing in my house. My value went up. My home insurance cost went down. Yeah, I can now get more for my house when I sell it because I have PGT custom windows and doors installed courtesy of my buddies at B&T Windows and Doors. Just another reason why you should upgrade your house today. Give them a call, 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126, B&T Windows and Doors.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Inter Miami fans, time to find out more about your favorite soccer team with OnSideRadio.com's IMCF Football Focus. Here's Austin Robillard.
Inter Miami weren't back to their winning ways just yet, but somebody who was back in form was Lewis Morgan, our right winger, who put on an inspired performance in the second half against Atlanta United. Lewis Morgan was back to his 2020 MVP ways, taking on defenders by himself and really changing the game with his effort and class on the ball. His goal in the 77th minute equalized the game at 1-1, and they were unfortunate not to get a second goal to end up winning the game, but all credit to Lewis Morgan, who was the man of the match in this performance against Atlanta United.
Keep up with the latest on La Rosa Negra by subscribing on most platforms. Search Onside Radio. Now back to Toasted Sports. To reach out, send a text to 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Toast.
Segment number 2, Toasted Sports on this Tuesday morning. Hope you're having a good one. So I fly out of here on Saturday morning, go over to Fort Lauderdale. Terminal 4, hadn't been Terminal 4 in ages. And so it's not, obviously it's not packed. But there's some folks there. So there's a line for security. And everyone is wearing a mask. But you know what they're not doing? Nobody is social distancing in the security line. So there's not 4 to 6 feet between each person in the line. Except for one lady. And she is keeping herself about 6 feet behind the person in front of her in the line. However, behind her, there are 2 younger girls that are right up on her ass. And at one point, I'm not sure if they bumped into her or whatever, but she turns around, snaps her head around, and I'm so those snake lines go. I'm like 10 feet away because they're to the right of me, like 2 lines over, so I'm really close. And she snaps her head around, it catches my attention, and she says, "Back off, social distancing." And the 2 girls behind her, one of them loses her crap. This girl wanted to fight. She was ready to throw down right there and beat the crap out of this girl.
She was having a bad morning, huh?
Her friend held her back. Security never came over. Her friend diffused it very quickly, and there you go. But, man, for a split second, I thought we were going to see a couple girls just throwing hands.
Now, did you whip the phone out right away?
I would have been ready.
I would have been ready.
That would have been thoroughly enjoyable. Hashtag because Miami. So good. So that was my outside of that, everyone was cool at the airport. The airplane, everyone's fine. Everyone wore their mask. They had middle seats that were booked, so it was a pretty full flight going up, and it was a packed flight.
Oh, they did book the middle flight.
Oh, bro. Yeah, it was 80% full going up. It was packed. They oversold it coming back.
Well, yeah, because you had to.
So they had people that they
3 flights all on one.
Yeah,
right?
they had people that were handing out vouchers for future, flights if you were to go ahead and not get on that one. I'm like, hell no, I'm getting on this one.
Oh, you didn't take the free voucher to fly Spirit again?
No, listen, I don't need to do another 24 hours up there with the parents. 36 hours was plenty of time. That was plenty. Don't need to spend more time. No, that was just fine.
You got your fill, and now you
got my fill to get out of here. Let's get back to work, people. But one thing I did have to do was my mom's been hounding me on this for years. Greg, you got to go to the basement and go through your stuff. I want your stuff out of my basement. And I don't have a whole lot of stuff there, but I had a couple hockey sticks, autographed hockey sticks from back when back from my Hartford Whalers.
Did you play hockey since you're from Connecticut?
I played street hockey.
Okay.
Didn't play ice hockey. Played a little pond hockey sometimes. But I knew how to skate. So, but down in that basement, so I had a couple hockey sticks, Greg Millen, Paul Lawless. No one knows who Paul Lawless is. Greg Millen, though, I actually took a picture, tagged him in a tweet. I guess he does stuff for Hockey Night in Canada now. He didn't reply. Son of a bitch. Whatever.
You don't have any luck with that.
Apparently not, no. Apparently
Did you ever
not.
get that golfing outing yet?
The what?
The golf outing with that gamer?
No, oh God, no, yeah, no. Come on now. Come on now. That ain't happening. But I had to go through my stuff, and man, my old box, Sean, of baseball cards.
Oh, those are always good to find again.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you what, there were a lot of them they were in much better shape than I had remembered. So Mom is sending all those down to me. So I'll be able to go through those and see if maybe I have any winners. I know that I had one little book with the entire 1989 Red Sox. They didn't win anything, so I'm not sure there's any, value in that. But all mint condition, so if you want the 89 Red Sox team, your boys got you.
Were you a Tops guy, a Fleer guy?
I was a Tops guy. I was a Tops
Okay.
guy. Yeah,
Okay.
Tops was the that was the top
That was
level.
I think that was
the top.
major,
Yeah, Tops was Tops.
Literally.
I mean, Donruss was all right. But it was all about Tops. It was all about Tops. But yeah, man, just so many memories from my childhood. My mom saved report cards. She saved my swimming test thing. Bizarre, weird little papers. Oh my God, this is nuts. Yeah, oh wow, just the memory lane was pretty cool.
Wow, that's awesome though.
If you ever had the option to go through your parents' attic or basement or whatever and go through some of your old stuff, damn, dude, that was that brought up a whole old yearbooks, middle school yearbooks. It was crazy, just insane.
So you went to surprise Mom for Mother's Day, and she put you to work.
Sure, absolutely. She had me climbing on ladders, doing stuff because I don't like it when your dad gets on the ladder. I get nervous.
So put you up
there. Listen, he's 77, she's 73, 74, so they're not young anymore.
All right.
And they're still very independent, live on their own and stuff, but went up there, hadn't seen them, and then you had some couple chores that needed to be done, so no problem. I'm still the son. I'll take care of that.
There you go.
All good, all good. Hey. But I told you, my mama's boy.
Take care of the chores here at home, or?
Oh yeah, not to the same extent.
Okay.
Not to the same extent.
I was gonna say you seem kind of like.
Although
me,
yesterday I definitely did some stuff. We had to empty out our old storage unit, and that we had down the street. So I was a workout yesterday. I was lifting some heavy stuff. My muscles are a little bit sore today. No doubt about it. It's like going to the gym, and you don't go to the gym, then you're going to be a little bit sore after all that thing. All right, so we're going to talk to David Dwork in a bit because, man, this is now the NHL has not given us a start date yet for this series, and the reason for that is because the All Canada division was pushed back a week. Their season doesn't end until next week.
There's a bunch of makeup games
because Vancouver had that outbreak earlier in the season, and so 5-7 games or whatever got pushed to the end. So everyone else is going to be waiting on their just twiddling their thumbs while the Canadian teams try to get their crap together and finish this thing up. So now the what they were saying was that the NHL could wait. I guess basically the rules they put in place in the beginning of the season was the playoffs would start a minimum of 3 days after the conclusion of that entire division's games. So technically, we could have our first game on Friday or whatever, but it's not. The first game is I know they've already come out with the first game for Saturday, and it's not us. So I'm guessing probably Sunday.
That's right. I forgot about it. They're staying inside the conference
right, so
for all the games.
And just this is only because of COVID. They redid all the divisions and conferences because of COVID. So, you couldn't have teams cross the border. So that's why you have one division that's all Canada. Normally, those teams would be spread across the other three conferences. So it's all going to be, it's going to be us against Tampa, and then it is us against the winner of Carolina and, Chicago, Dallas or Chicago?
Nashville, right?
Nashville. So come on, Nashville.
Yeah, we're hoping, but if not, boy, it's a gauntlet to get to the next round.
No, absolutely. Listen, and I'll tell you what, if you can get out of this division, I like our chances because
100%.
I like our chances against everyone else. If you can, I believe this is the toughest division the toughest playoff division in the NHL right now. So
let me tell you, if these last 2 games mean anything about the upcoming 7,
yeah,
I'm hoping we get through healthy through this first series.
Yeah, and I believe I saw some stat. Coach Q's record now with the Cats is like 70, 40, and something. So just off to a phenomenal start. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be exciting playoff hockey that we're getting ready for. It actually is interesting because before we talk to David Dwork, why don't we go ahead and tackle today's roundtable question? Because it has something to do with this. Every single day, we will pose a question. Every host will answer it. We'll take those answers, combine them together, drop that as its own podcast. And Tuesday's roundtable question is, who do you have more faith in making a deeper playoff run and why? The Panthers or the Heat? Man, this is a tough one. This is tough.
It really is.
Because the Panthers are playing better. They've had a better season. The Panthers are the better team this year, I believe. However, the Panthers have a tougher playoff road, having to deal with that division with Tampa Bay and Carolina in the first 2 rounds. Man, if the Heat – so here's my thing. I believe the Heat's postseason success is about 90% of it is going to be dictated by what happens tonight. I believe if the Heat win tonight, and that effectively ends their regular season because they're locked into the 6th spot and they can rest some guys, then they have a week off before the playoffs start, I believe that they can do some upset and make a run for the Eastern Conference Finals. But if they lose tonight, I don't believe that happens. But that said, I think the Panthers have a tougher road because of the first 2 opponents they would have to play. And I know that, yeah, well, the Heat are going to have to play Milwaukee. Well, all right, but I don't know. The Heat just do well in the playoffs against some of these teams. They just do well. And I'm still not scared of Philadelphia in a 7-game series.
And it's like you said, if they get that week off, there's time to prepare.
Exactly. And I'm taking Spoelstra game planning these games over every other coach in that division, in the conference that we're going to be going up against. So I would say right now, I want to say my mind wants to say the Panthers, but my heart says the Heat. So I guess I'm going to go,
if you had to put money on it, which one would you go with?
The Heat. Just because the Heat were there last year, the Panthers weren't. And I'm a firm believer that you have to lose before you can win in the playoffs. So, I don't know. I don't have a ton of faith in the Cats making the Eastern Conference Finals or their conference finals this year. I have more faith that the Heat can pull that off this year than the Panthers can. Next year, different story. Next year, I think the Panthers are going to be a preseason favorite for the Stanley Cup. But this year, so I'm going to go with the Heat. We will take a break. Sean's got an update coming up next. Then we will talk to David Dwork about those Panthers, what the playoffs are going to look like, how we get some rest here for the guys, when it's going to start. All that coming up next. This is Toasted Sports on OnSideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyAsDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody-Ass family. Dr. Moody-Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyAsDental.com.
WLESPN. We've got all your sports.
We're live and local.
If you wake up early enough.
You're so bad, honey.
Tune us in. As long as you're not under a bridge.
Or under any power
shoreline.
Ain't it awful?
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com. Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
The Florida Panthers will have home ice in the first round of the NHL playoffs after a 4-0 win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Chris Driedger picked up his 3rd shutout of the season. Playoffs are up next for the Ice Cats. The Miami Marlins, they lose again, this time to the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're at it again tonight, 9:40. Pablo Lopez and Madison Bumgarner. That's the pitching matchup. The Heat are in Boston for a big game tonight. Tip-off 7:30, and it will be on TNT. Inter Miami, they're back at it Wednesday night, taking on their roommates here at Dry Pink Stadium, CF Montreal. Big O, Alex Dono, they'll get you started the pregame at 6:30. Chris Whittingham, Thomas Rungan, and Fernando Fiore will have the call of the game at 7:30. You're listening to South Florida's only locally owned sports talk station. This is OnSideRadio.com.
Welcome back to Toasted Sports. To reach out to Toast, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back to Toasted Sports.
Third segment, Toasted Sports on this Tuesday morning. Very exciting times here in South Florida because we got some serious playoff hockey that's going to be getting underway. When? Well, we're not so sure, so keep it locked in here and we'll let you know when the NHL lets us know. We're going to bring on David Dwork right now, host of Chirping the Cats. You can hear it every Saturday morning right here on Onside Radio. David, good morning. How are you, bro?
Toast, what's going on, man? It's a good day to be a Panthers fan.
It is a great day to be a Panthers fan. I believe, this is their 7th time making the playoffs?
If you count the bubble thing from last year, then well, let's see. There's 95, there's 96, 97, 2000, 2012, 2016. So, yeah, this would be lucky number 7, I guess.
Look at that. David Dwork can rattle off every playoff season they have off the top of their head. That's impressive right there. That's impressive. I'm impressed. All right, let's talk about last night. Great way to finish out the season. 2 victories over Tampa, the team you're going to be playing in the first round of the playoffs. First things first, Huberdeau did not play. Lower body or upper body injury. What are we looking at for him, and will he be ready for the first round?
Yeah, he'll be ready. I mean, Q was asked after the game, and he was like, he's fine.
Okay.
Q kind of alluded that Hubie was feeling maybe a little under the weather. I think maybe what they've been doing is they've been kind of resting guys and keeping them out. I mean, I think yesterday, if it was game 1, you would have seen Bennett, Huberdeau, Montour, Hornquist, everybody would have been there. Everybody's been practicing. I think everybody's healthy at this point. I think the Panthers and many other teams around the league were holding players out over the last couple of weeks to get them rested, to get them healthy or whatever. So I wouldn't I'm not concerned about any guys that haven't been playing missing game one of the playoffs. I think they're going to be at full strength come game one.
How are the Panthers and Coach Q dealing with the uncertainty? Normally, you'd finish the season and you would know when your first playoff game is, and right now they have no idea. It could be this weekend. It could. I mean, we literally have no idea. How do they handle what's going to be basically a week off, a week-long layoff with so much uncertainty about when the game is?
The interesting thing is that despite the way the season has been with like seemingly a game every day or almost every day is what it's felt like. Last week, the schedule, the way it shook out, they had like a 4 or 5 day gap between games, between the Dallas game on Monday and then they didn't play again until Saturday. So they just had a week very similar to the one that they're probably about to have this week. And all they did was take 5 days off or whatever it was and come out and smoke Tampa in 2 games 9-1. So I think the Panthers are kind of in a comfortable spot right now. And really, regardless of what's happened to them this year, whether it's a bunching of games in the schedule or a lack of games in the schedule or missing key players, they have not skipped a beat whatsoever. So I think they're just humming and churning along and feeling good about what they're doing.
So with the layoff now, probably going to be a better part of a week. When it comes to who we're going to start in goalie for game one, Drieger last night puts out a gem after a very long layoff for him. I think he had over, 10 days since he had last played? Does him playing that well last night influence Q giving him the nod in game one because it'll again be a long layoff? Or do you go with Bob because he's number one?
I don't think the layoff for Drieger has anything to do with it. I think he showed last night that he kind of can go out there and do his thing.
Well, that's what I'm
regardless.
saying. He proved last night that I can go out there with 10 days off and put up a shutout for you. So will that influence Q's call for who starts game one?
I don't think it'll influence it just because it's not like out of character for Drieger.
Okay.
I think he's done similar things regardless of whether he's missed time with injury or just Bob got a few starts in a row or Spencer Knight, whatever happened. Drieger is amazingly consistent throughout his entire time with the Panthers. So I don't think last night's win, while it was great, I don't think it influenced anything because we knew that's who Drieger was. I do think that you're going to see Sergei Bobrovsky start game one.
Okay.
I just feels like that's how it's been trending. I think that's how Q set it up to go into the playoffs. The curious thing and the thing we're going to have to find out from Q is whether he's thinking of doing what he's done in the regular season, which is tandem as goaltenders, which is alternate starts a little bit like he did in the second half of the year. That's definitely a possibility. Or you could do the more traditional thing, which is ride the hot hand. However, that gets a little bulky when you've got two goalies that you want to get in there, if that's what Q wants to do. He's been very kind of dodgy about this question. He's like, yeah, we kind of have our batting order, we kind of have our game plan, but he won't reveal too much into it. I would suspect Bob game one, and then maybe Drieger game two, depending on how good or bad Bob may look. But personally, I would go with a rotation, at least for the first round or two, just because they've both been playing so well. You want to keep them fresh, and it also gives a fresh element to your team when you're rotating your goaltender back and forth. It kind of, it livens things up a little bit. It gives you a little bit more motivation to get a win for your guy that wasn't out there last game. And Florida's got such good goaltenders. I mean, Sergei Bobrovsky is hot and cold. We know this, but Chris Drieger has been so good. And then they've got the best insurance policy, in sports right now, you would think, with Spencer Knight as your number 3 for crying out loud. So it's a good problem to have. But to answer your question, I do think it's going to be Bob game one.
So in a normal season, the Panthers would be the number 2 seed in the conference. They'd be taking on the number 7 seed in the first round. But that's all out the window now. And the Panthers will have to get out of, in my mind, the toughest division in hockey to make it into the to make it out of the second round. Obviously, Tampa, we know that we got the season series against them. I have pretty good confidence that, listen, Tampa's just not quite what we thought they were going to be preseason. They've had injuries and whatnot. But, man, David, Carolina has had our number all season long. How optimistic are you that this team can put together a run and get out of this division?
I'm pretty optimistic. I think the Panthers have shown that they can skate with whoever. Carolina was the one team, really, that gave them any trouble this year, and that's because Carolina is, scary good this season. They're one of the best teams that I've seen skating without the puck in years, the way that they're so aggressive and so fast and so well-positioned. It's a huge credit to their coach, Rob Brindamore, who I think is the only coach that could potentially take the Jack Adams Award as the NHL's Coach of the Year away from Joel Quenneville at this point. But the thing about the Carolina games is when they were 5-on-5, the Panthers were as good, at times better than Carolina. It was when Florida got into penalty trouble that really hurt them against Carolina because of Carolina's top-ranked power play. And it also didn't hurt that Carolina's penalty kill was so good and Florida's power play had been struggling. They were giving up shorthanded chances too. So it's really the special teams that comes into question, and that can change a little bit more fluidly than other elements of your game when you're trying to put out a certain style, as Florida and Carolina have done. I'm not going to be biting off my fingernails or freaking out or hiding in the closet or anything like that. If they have to face Carolina, it'll be an exciting series. But I think it's a challenge that the Panthers would like, just because, as you said, they did have some struggles against Carolina during the season, and they do feel like they can beat them, which we've seen. So, but first things first, right? Carolina's got to get past Nashville.
Yes.
The way Florida just smoked Tampa twice in a row to end the season, Nashville did the same thing to Carolina. And granted, they didn't have anything to play for yesterday, but they still beat them 4-0 with like half of Nashville's team not playing. So, obviously that's what we're potentially seeing is a Panthers-Carolina round 2. But both teams, not just the Panthers, both teams have to take care of business in round 1.
Talking to David Dwork, host Chirping the Cats every Saturday here on Onside Radio. David, we'll get you out of here on this. The Panthers, they put up their best point percentage in franchise history, best home record, best road record. Now, I know we have a squad that made a Stanley Cup Finals run one year, but where does this year's squad, based on the regular season, is this the best Panthers squad we've ever had?
Yeah, it might be. This is a question that I've kind of been spitballing around with for a few weeks now. I think it very well could be the best Panthers team they've ever had. They're just so deep, and we've been talking about it since game 1, and every time that this team has been tested with their depth, they have not skipped a beat whatsoever, whether it was Barkov or Hornquist or Duclair or Dreeder or whoever, Verhaeghe.
Ekblad.
They lost Aaron Ekblad, and I think they went 17-5-1 the rest of the way. Unbelievable. They lose Aaron Ekblad, and a guy nobody heard of, in January, Gustav Forsling, has now become one of the top-tier defensemen in the league, the way he's been playing with Mackenzie Weegar. So it's kind of unreal what this team has done. And it's not a discredit. They've had some very good teams, whether it was the Rat Pack of the 90s, the Pavel Bure offensive explosion at the turn of the century. The fun team they had in 2012 was just that. It was a fun team. It wasn't a great team. The Yager team was good. They had that big winning streak, but not, overall.
Right.
This team has been coming at you in waves since the beginning of the season. They have not fallen off at all. And we've, all the things we talked about that happened to them. So I think when the dust settles, hopefully the playoffs will kind of cement their reputation or their status as a Panthers team. But I think just looking at it objectively and taking a step back, it's hard to argue that this isn't the best Panthers team that's ever been.
All right, so David, when do you think the NHL will let us know when Game 1 is, and when do you think Game 1 will be?
I think Game 1 will be Sunday. That's kind of what just hearing things at this point, I'm hearing Sunday, but it could get pushed back another day potentially. I'm hoping that the NHL reveals it today. They started giving out that information for, can't even say the Eastern Conference anymore, whatever the
Central
Division,
Eastern Division.
Yeah. But that came out late last night, so I'm kind of hopeful now that all the matchups are set and the majority of the teams are done, that the NHL is going to get that out sooner rather than later. So I would not be surprised to see it trickle out today, and if not today, then I would definitely expect it by tomorrow.
David, great stuff as always. So excited for the start. This is just going to be so much fun watching this team make this playoff run. Make sure you're tuning in to Chirping the Cats every Saturday with David Dwork. David, thank you so much, man. We'll talk to you again soon.
Anytime, brother.
David Dwork, everybody. Great stuff with the Florida Panthers. And again, man, there's no other station down here that's going to give you just a specialty show just on the Panthers, a specialty show just on the Heat, a specialty show just on Inter Miami. That's what the Marlins, that's what Onside Radio is bringing to the table. So there you go. Good stuff. All right, Toasted News coming up next. This is OnsideRadio.com.
You're listening to Toasted Sports. Take OnsideRadio.com, your home for sports talk everywhere with the Radio.net app. Find the app at OnsideRadio.com, South Florida's home for real sports talk.
When you're tired of watching the sun damage your furniture or raise your electric bill, it's time to do what we did here at OnsideRadio.com studio. Call A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise. A Shade Above Window Fashions has a great selection of blackout shades to choose from. We can almost create a complete blackout for your bedroom or media room. Call them at 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A Shade Above Window Fashion.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
If you missed Omar Kelly and the Miami Dolphins report sponsored by EJDConstruction.com today, you missed this.
When we're talking about building and building things right, like EJD Construction does, when we're talking about building things right, look at what the Dolphins have done with free agency over the past couple of years. Just look at last year's deal. Which contract did you sign last year that was a good contract? Did you feel like you've got value for? Do you feel like the players are going to play the entire duration of their career? You feel like you're not overpaying?
Omar Kelly and the Miami Dolphins report, brought to you by EJD Construction. Count on a company that's an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. EJDConstruction.com.
Big O for M&S Air Conditioning. You know, air quality in your home and business is more important than ever. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning and let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit. Folks, it attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. With stellar customer service, answering your call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. For more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans, visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Hey, it's Toast, and no doubt last year hurricane season was one of the craziest we've ever seen. Well, Noah's saying once again, going to be another active season, so you need to call B&T Windows and Doors today and get PGT custom windows and doors installed like I did so that you are fully protected. Listen, there's no better peace of mind than PGT custom windows and doors when you're in the cone of death for a Category 5 storm. Call B&T Windows and Doors today to get set up. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126.
Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com.
Let's get back to Toasted Sports. You can send a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Toast. Stories you won't hear anywhere else. This is Toasted News.
Well, Elon Musk's hosting debut on Saturday Night Live gave the show a significant boost in the ratings. Yes, it was rather controversial. Many people were pissed off, but the Wrap is reporting that SNL saw a 33% increase in ratings for Musk's episode. The episode garnered the third highest ratings of the season. It outranked the three most recent episodes of SNL that featured Maya Rudolph, Daniel Kaluuya, and Carey Mulligan as hosts, and settled in the third place tie with Adele's episode from October. With some considering Musk to be the most controversial host since Donald Trump in 2015, it was not surprising that his episode garnered so many views. Listen, man, as they've often said, even bad publicity, better than no publicity. So all you that were I woke up Sunday morning and, oh my God, you would have thought someone ended the world. Oh my goodness. I didn't see the episode.
I did not see the episode. I just woke up and saw my Twitter timeline.
And I heard the episode wasn't very good, but I'm not surprised that people watched it. Go to the Bronx, New York. A Bronx panhandler attacked a man who wouldn't give him $1, knocking out two of the victim's teeth with one punch. Might want to get him over down here for the Mayweather-Paul fight. Put him on the undercard. 29-year-old victim was walking with his friends on East 138th Street near St. Anne's Ave in Mott Haven at 4:50 a.m. Nothing good happens at 4:50 a.m., bro, walking down the street in Mott Haven. Come on now.
They could have started the story with that. We would have figured it out.
The crew passed a panhandler who asked them for money, cops said. When the man said he had nothing to spare, the suspect socked the victim on the left side of his face, splitting his lip and knocking out 2 teeth. Suspect, believed to be in his 30s, ran off empty-handed. There have been no arrests. He was taken to the victim was taken to EMS. It happened about 3 blocks from his home, and he was treated and released. But there you go. Finally, Orange Park, Florida.
Of course, here we go.
Always got to have a Florida story. This free bird could wind up in a cage after stealing about $12,000 worth of Lynyrd Skynyrd memorabilia. William James Walker, 38, is wanted for the theft of a trailer filled with rock relics, which were intended to be sold for charity last month. The trailer disappeared from the parking lot of a Days Inn hotel in Orange Park on April 9th, just 1 day before the items inside were set to be auctioned off at a cancer benefit. The Jimmy Van Zant Cancer Benefit in Middleburg was set to honor late musician Jimmy Van Zant, a cousin of Lynyrd Skynyrd's Donnie, Johnny, and Ronnie Van Zant, who died of liver cancer in 2016. The stolen items, is that the Van Zant that was in REO Speedwagon? I don't know. Anyways, the stolen items included irreplaceable mementos from the Southern rock band, as well, check this out, a 1957 Les Paul guitar signed by musicians Greg Allman, Brian Howe, Butch Trucks, and others. These guys are all dead, bro. We have guitars that are signed. There you go. It's signed by a lot of band members that aren't even alive anymore, said Joey Willett, the organizer. It's stuff that can't be replaced. Orange County Police Department still trying to find this guy and find all this memorabilia. But damn, can't be.
And Donnie Van Zant was the 38 Special.
Well, Donnie Van Zant, 38 Special. Okay, yeah, I knew there was a Van Zant in another band. So, all right, that is your toasted news. Hour number 2 coming up. We will speak with Ira Winderman about the Heat. They have a huge game tonight against the Celtics. And also want to get into what's going on with the NCAA and the NIL, because Florida's law and some other states go into effect on July 1st. And oh my Lord, the NCAA is scrambling right now, and this is only going to benefit the kids because they don't have their crap in order. We'll talk about all that stuff. Hour 2, Toasted Sports, coming up next on OnSideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam, ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen.
Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the flagship station of Inter Miami CF, OnSideRadio.com. Follow us on social media at OnSide Radio.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love
my job.
Oak Tree?
Sup?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think you would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The Forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Miami Lakes location at 15462 Northwest 77th Court, located in the Ryan Oaks Plaza. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Welcome to Toasted Sports.
Tuesdays are better.
Yeah, they are.
What? It's just better. I'm very excited. It's Tuesday.
You're weird. You're such a weird person.
This whole show is It's weird.
Kind of weird.
Weird.
Not weird, but like exciting weird.
Sure, whatever floats your boat.
Enough talk. Enough talking.
Start the show! Start the show! Here's Toast.
Second hour, Toasted Sports, streaming live on OnSideRadio.com. So we are 6 weeks away, just about, from utter chaos breaking out, and you know how much I love chaos. I love chaos. I love watching chaos, and chaos is coming to college football. So it has been a quiet commitment season here for the class of 2022. Many schools only have a couple of commitments here and there, including the Canes. Folks are like, why? Normally at this stage you'd have like 10, 15 commitments. Well, this year is unlike any year we've ever had before. That's because name and likeness legislation in 5 states goes into effect on July 1st, Florida being one of those states. As a result, the NCAA has to come up with a policy on name, image, and likeness rights in the next 6 weeks. They've been unable to do this over the last 10 years since Ed O'Bannon. And now they're down to their final 6 weeks, and they got to cobble something together. This is why this is phenomenal. So, no matter what the NCAA comes out and says, no matter what rules they put in place, from what I've been told, state law will trump it. As a result, whatever rules they come up with right now are pretty much going to have to be what are the rules for the 5 states that have already passed legislation that goes into effect on July 1st, because those 5 states are going to supersede whatever the NCAA says anyways. This is going to present a significant recruiting advantage for major schools in major cities. Now, the NCAA, what the NCAA needs, listen, this could very well be the end of the NCAA. They may no longer exist when this is all said and done. What the NCAA needs to have happen now, in the next 6 weeks ideally, or in the next year, is for the U.S. government, for Congress, and for the Senate to come up with national name, image, and likeness rules for college athletes, because that would then supersede the state laws, and there would then be a blanket rule from sea to shining sea. Right now, it's going to be patchwork. which is going to lead. Listen, you have some legislators, I should say. I saw a quote from one, from a state representative in Missouri who says, listen, man, or no, I'm sorry, Arkansas, saying, listen, man, we need to beat Alabama in recruiting. So our bill has to be better than Alabama's. That's where this is, that's where this is going to go. That's where this is going now. This is utter chaos, and this is phenomenal. This is going to be a boon to kids. Kids are going to make money right now, and this is great. But we need to have, at some point, there's going to need to be a universal standard, or else we're going to have, you think we got shadiness and cheating going on now in recruiting? Brother, you haven't, when you no longer have to hide the Brinks truck, oh my goodness, this is going to be insane. So they got 6 weeks. They have 6 weeks, and they don't have anything even close to a concrete plan right now. So, and just so you know, Mark Emmert, that's why Mark Emmert was up in D.C. like a month and a half ago, hobnobbing with representatives and senators, because he was trying to push them to get some national NIL legislation going, and they said, yeah, this is not going to happen, at least not anytime soon. So you're going to have patchwork right now, which is going to benefit schools in Florida right now, and then maybe over the next 12 to 18 months, listen, we know how quickly the Washington, D.C., how quickly Congress works. So it could be, 18, 24, 36 months, who knows, until they may be able to finally get some legislation going that kind of makes it a blanket policy. But this is going to be great. Now, I don't know, and listen, we heard Master P has already secured $2.5 million in endorsements for his son, who's going to be playing basketball, not a Division I school, at Tennessee Tech. Now, granted, Master P has connections that most parents don't have, and we understand that. But that's the that's the bar, bro. Like, if that can be for a kid playing D2 basketball, or Division I basketball, but I think he said I think Tennessee Tech is a HBCU school. But if you can, $2.5 million? I've never heard of Tennessee Tech before.
Yeah, and what's even crazier is how many schools are actually going to start trying to find
sure,
maybe sponsors for certain,
of course, listen,
athletes or whatever. They'll probably hire marketing departments to actually do this so that students will come to their team.
Think about the amount of car dealerships in South Florida. Oh. How many of those different brands would want to have a cane representing them, popping into their commercials? I mean, I could see De'Ara King doing air around the clock commercials. Hey, it's De'Ara King. When my AC goes out in the dorm, I call air around the clock. There's no rules. It is going to be a free for all. If you now, first of all, the transfer thing. So the reason. All right. So don't want to get ahead of myself. The reason why the NCAA is screwed here is because legally, basically, all they're doing right now is reacting to lawsuits. So the NCAA is so let's take the transfer situation. All of a sudden, over the last couple years, you've had football players, that have been able to transfer, and basketball players, and not have to sit out a year. Well, the reason why is because the 5 revenue-producing sports had that rule where you had to sit out the year. All the other sports on the college campus didn't have that rule, and lawsuits were starting to come in for discrimination. And they were going to lose those, so they said, well, we better go ahead and change that one. And that's what's going on. So you have an NCAA that doesn't have a plan, and all they're doing right now is reacting to legal lawsuits filed against them in court. They don't, the states are doing their own thing, and the states are going to supersede whatever the NCAA comes up with. So the NCAA is literally looking at their future hanging on the precipice of a cliff.
Now, with what you've been reading, because I've been keeping up with the NIL a lot, is there going to be like a maximum that they can get?
Well, so here's the thing. The way the NCAA has this set up is they want there to be a third party, a neutral third party that is a clearinghouse for all of the deals. So they will be the ones that will determine whether the deal that is being signed by the player is fair market value. And right? But the problem is the firm they wanted to be that just pulled out and said, "Yeah, we don't want any piece of this."
I wouldn't want anything to do with that.
Like, we don't mind the money that would come with this, like getting paid to handle this, but the amount of headaches, like, yeah, no, we don't want to deal with the headaches.
How are you going to say what fair market value is?
Well, and listen, fair market value in Miami is different than fair market value in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah. If they're getting $2.5 million in Tennessee Tech, what are we going to get
With all
down
due
here?
respect, market value in Tuscaloosa, just a tad bit below market value in Miami. Just a tad. Like, here, and you're looking at markets now. So now, in my mind, look at the sleeping giants in the major markets. And there's one in particular that is a trash program. Could be the worst program in the country when it comes to Power 5. But they're in the biggest market. Ladies and gentlemen, Rutgers University. The amount of marketing, they are the New York City school. There is no other Division I school in the New York City area. They are it. Madison Avenue, bro. Like, the amount of endorsements that could come to a kid going to Rutgers will, like, wow. It'll be like a kid going to USC and UCLA in LA, or a kid going to Illinois and Chicago. Like, Illinois has been nothing. Now all of a sudden, your players have access to marketing in the third biggest market in the country? Bro, that's bigger than South Bend, Indiana.
It isn't it? What's that going to do with, like, players entering the draft?
Well, exactly.
If they're making more money playing college football.
Well, listen, I mean, if you're let's just take Masterpiece Kid. So Masterpiece Kid's going to make $2.5 million. I believe that's over 4 years. But obviously,
like $600 a year,
right? Well, exactly.
Well, minus whatever taxes.
But he's at a small school. He's not an NBA prospect. So even if he was doing really well, he's not going to leave if he's guaranteed $600,000 a year. Hell no. He's making more than his coach.
That's going to be the interesting part.
I guarantee you, the head coach of Tennessee Tech ain't making $600,000 a year.
It's going to almost turn into what happened with Saban at the NFL level, right? I mean, if a coach is making less, not that players are going to make as much as Saban, but if you're making more than your head coach, and he's going to be yelling at you, like,
you could certainly have a situation where your star quarterback is making more than his position coach. I mean, so now you've got 18-year-old kids making more than their coach.
Yeah, but you're still almost stuck there, too, because if you lose the football scholarship.
Oh, I got you. Oh, no, I got you. But I'm just saying you're changing the entire dynamic of everything.
Yeah, no, you are.
Now you've got 18-year-olds strutting in with endorsements attached to them and money attached to them. That's going to boost their ego even more. These are already kids that haven't been told no throughout all of high school. They've already been put on a pedestal for the last 4 years, possibly longer into middle school. So the egos are already there. And now they're going to be bigger. And now they're going to have leverage.
And I wonder if there's going to be echelons of when you're coming in. Like, if you get the starting job, you get this.
Absolutely.
If you're second string, you get this.
I guarantee you there will be
almost
clauses,
like what NASCAR and all them do.
I bet there'll be clauses for how much time you're on the field. Absolutely. I guarantee. Like, if you play a certain percentage of your team's snaps, you get a $100,000 bonus.
Oh, I wonder if we're going to have any of those,
like,
the tattoos
on
the arms
thing.
of
There's no rules, man. So if there's no rules, and if every state is trying to outdo the other state so that their team can beat Alabama, it is a total free-for-all. Like, you have, like, the fact that congressman came out and said, well, we gotta out-recruit Alabama, so we got to have a better law. Are you kidding me? Like, this is what is going to happen?
He said what everybody else has been thinking.
Well, exactly. But this is what's going to happen now. I mean, and then, so what happens? So hold on. So now what happens if Georgia, the state of Georgia, comes out with a law that is now better than the one that we have already passed in Florida? Do we then redo Florida law? Like it's going to be a one-up.
We got to go back in.
Right, we got to go back in and tweak the law because we have to allow them to give more because Georgia just did it, and now we're going to lose out to recruits to Georgia.
Yep. And then when Alabama does it, we'll have to redo it again when they do it.
Oh, my God. This is awesome. I'm so excited. Oh, so I can't wait to see what the NCAA is going to come up with because it's going to be a mess. It's going to be.
They got 6 weeks. Should be
There's
interesting.
no way that you can just throw this together in the final 6 weeks with your ass against the wall.
I mean, this is
not going to happen.
That's been talked about for how long?
This is Ed O'Bannon, bro. I think that was 2009.
And they've never thought of, hey, you know what? We should probably start putting a plan together.
They've been fighting it. They have been fighting it every step of the way.
Yeah, but you can fight it, but at the same time have a backup.
No,
now you
that's
got 6 weeks to try to figure this out.
That's not the way old white men work.
I know that, but nothing about this says it's going to end well for the NCAA.
No, well, listen, that's why I'm saying that all of this is going to be the NCAA's plan. Their rules that they let us all see by July 1st is basically going to be a synopsis of the 5 states whose laws go into effect on July 1st. Because they can't do something against those because state law supersedes the NCAA. So whatever the common themes are in those 5 bills that go into effect, those 5 laws that go into effect on July 1st, that is what will be the basis for the NCAA rules. So it'll be incredibly ineffective. Because reactionary, reacting like this is just not. That's not the way you do it when you've been sitting on your hands since 2009. All right. So, anyways, something for you all to look forward to. July 1st. You might as well start like a countdown clock on the NCAA headquarters in Indianapolis, just like until D-Day. Because damn, and they just signed Mark Emmert to an extension too. Like, good God, bro. It's like, okay. We will talk with the Sun Sentinel's Ira Winderman. Best part of the week coming up next. Talk all about tonight's game, playoff implications, all that good stuff. Toasted Sports on OnSideRadio.com.
You're listening to Toasted Sports. Take OnSideRadio.com, your home for sports talk everywhere with simple radio. Find the app at OnSideRadio.com, South Florida's home for real sports talk.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
BYB Extreme Bare Knuckle Fighting Series presents BYB 5. Saturday, May 15th at the Fair Expo Center at Tamiami Park. Meet Dada 5000. See bare knuckle brawlers fight live in BYB's patented triangle ring. The Trigon. The smallest and most confrontational ring in combat sports. Early action includes slap fights as seen on YouTube. Buy your tickets now at BYBtickets.com for BYB 5. Saturday, May 15th. Doors open at 6 p.m. BYB is proudly sponsored by BMCHam.com. Your choice for gold and silver. BMCHam.com.
Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com. If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Hey, it's Toast. Last year when I had PGT custom windows and doors installed at my house by B&T Windows and Doors, I knew about the hurricane protection. What I didn't know? The silence. Oh my goodness, my house is so quiet now. One of those cars goes tearing down the street with the crazy loud muffler. Yeah, I don't hear it anymore. It's unbelievable. I didn't realize how noisy my house was beforehand. You've got to get PGT Custom Windows and Doors installed in your pad today. Call B&T Windows and Doors, 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126.
Inter Miami fans, time to find out more about your favorite soccer team with OnSideRadio.com's IMCF Football Focus. Here's Austin Robillard.
Inter Miami weren't back to their winning ways just yet, but somebody who was back in form was Lewis Morgan, our right winger, who put on an inspired performance in the second half against Atlanta United. Lewis Morgan was back to his 2020 MVP ways, taking on defenders by himself and really changing the game with his effort and class on the ball. His goal in the 77th minute equalized the game at 1-1, and they were unfortunate not to get a second goal to end up winning the game, but all credit to Lewis Morgan, who was the man of the match in this performance against Atlanta United.
Keep up with the latest on La Rosa Negra by subscribing on most platforms. Search Onside Radio. It's time to talk Miami Heat with NBA insider Ira Winderman. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat Report, exclusively at OnSideRadio.com. Let's go over the latest headlines locally with the Miami Heat and league-wide in the NBA with our very own Ira Winderman.
Every week, get to talk to the Sun Sentinel's Ira Winderman about everything Heat and NBA. It is the best part of my week. Good morning, Ira. How are you today?
If that's the case, you might need a better week.
So we got a big one tonight, Ira. Arguably the biggest game of the season. A great performance against the Celtics. Dominated the first half the other night. Almost gave it away in the fourth quarter, but they held on. So my question for you, how much of what happens tonight will determine the type of run this team can go on in the playoffs?
I'm going to offer you sort of a bit of hyperbole here because I was told it's a Hyperbole Tuesday. To me, this is the biggest regular season game in the history of the Miami Heat in their 33 seasons. And I will tell you why. If the Heat win the game tonight, they are locked into a playoff spot. Top 6 playoff spot, don't have to sweat the rest of the season. The rest of the week, actually, as it is with the season closing. If the Heat lose tonight, there become overwhelming odds they wind up in the play-in round simply because of their closing schedule of Philadelphia on Tuesday, then at Milwaukee on Saturday, and closing the season Sunday in Detroit. And the reason is Boston, even with this injury absence of Jaylen Brown, has a very favorable closing schedule against Cleveland, against Minnesota, and then against New York that might be locked into position. So here's what happens. If the Heat lose tonight, their lead over the Celtics goes down to 1 game, but Boston gains the tiebreaker on a 2-1 season series record. That means if the Celtics win out, the Heat would have to win out to stay ahead of the Celtics. Now, I know the Heat can put together some good basketball, but beating Philadelphia and Milwaukee in consecutive games with Milwaukee on the road would be another story. So to me, this is everything. And I'll tell you another reason, Toast, not to be too long-winded here, is this reason. If the Heat clinch a top 6 playoff berth now, they will have plenty of time to rest their players and get ready for an opening round series, whether it's against Milwaukee or Brooklyn or Philadelphia. If they lose to the Celtics, they might be in a high-stakes game at least every other day for the rest of the season. Because then they come back, have to beat Philly on Thursday. Then they go to Milwaukee, have to win there on Saturday. Then they go to Detroit, a team with nothing to lose, have to win there on Sunday. Then they could be in play-in game number 1 on Tuesday, and play-in game number 2 on Thursday, and playoff game, if they keep it advancing, number 1 on Saturday. So tonight it's transformative. I already have the balloons and the confetti machine ready in my home office. I'm ready to trigger everything. So it's a little big.
So the biggest game in franchise history, You heard it from Ira
Regular
Winterman.
season, biggest regular season
Bigger regular
game
season
in franchise
game, yes,
history.
in franchise history. Everybody is going to be available, all hands on deck, except for one. Is it safe to say? Is it safe to say at this point that Victor will be gone after this year? I mean, you can't invest in this.
No,
can you?
as a matter of fact, it's crazy, Toast. I'd say the opposite. It's more
Really?
likely Victor plays for the Heat after the season than he does for the Heat this season, just because of the way the salary cap and everything works out. First of all, I don't think when the Heat assemble in their locker room today in Boston at TD Garden, they're going to look around and wonder who's missing. Victor Oladipo has only been there for 4 games.
Right.
He's missed the last 16 games. So it's not like there's a missing piece. The Heat very much will feel whole. The Celtics will arrive and see Jaylen Brown unable to play, and that'll be a sobering reality because even if they get past the Heat, the Celtics without Jaylen Brown are not getting past the Celtics or the Nets or the Bucks. They're just not. Probably not even the Knicks or the Hawks. They know they're screwed. But the thing is, with the Heat, the way their salary cap is set up, if they have any faith, and they have the medicals now, they know more than anyone, that Victor can make it back, their best salary cap play in the offseason very well might be to re-sign Victor to some team-friendly type of contract and see if they can salvage it. Because you remember this. We were on the air after this. Victor's first 4 games, only 4 games with the Heat, were really good, were really enticing, were really sexy. The first dates that the Heat had with Victor Oladipo went very, very well. And then all of a sudden we found out he had to do his hair and he had laundry to do and he wasn't taking our calls anymore, and that stopped that. But you know what? I still think there's a chance for something better in the future. So I would put better odds on Victor Oladipo playing for the Heat next season than I would this season.
All right, let me ask you this. Why with this play-in tournament, why is it not 7 versus 10 and 8v9? Why is it 7v8 and 9v10?
Because this gives number 7 and number 8 2 chances, figuring they had earned the traditional playoff spots, so they should have to lose twice before they're eliminated. Whereas 9 and 10 never would have been in the mix, so they're lucky just to have 2 chances to win, to have to win 2 games. So what happens is 7 hosts number 8. If the Heat doesn't make the top 6, they definitely will be 7. They will host a game. So they host the number 8 team. Whoever wins that one game is the number 7 seed. At the same time, the number 9 and number 10 teams meet. Number 9 hosts number 10. Whoever wins that game plays the loser of 7-8. So if you're 7-8, all you have to do is win one of 2 games. If you're 9 or 10, you have to win 2 games in order to make the playoffs. You know what? I think they will tinker through this. And when you look at how the standings are set up in both conferences, where there's a real divide between 7 and 8, I think the future play-in is going to be this. I think the future play-in is going to be 9 plays 10, the winner plays 8, and only the number 8 seed.
Gotcha.
And that makes sense, Toast, for this reason. There are 15 teams in each conference. So if you finish number 8, you're not even in the top half of the conference. To me, it would make sense to draw the line there. And I think that's what happens, is I think you work through these machinations, see how it plays out, and you adjust along the way. Right now, the Heat is sort of caught right dead smack in the middle. They'd just rather win tonight and be done with it all.
Ira, we have talked numerous times about, regardless of the injuries that the Lakers have had, as long as LeBron's back, you're not going to be betting against him. However, the concept and the possibility of a one game with Golden State and Steph Curry, the way he's playing right now, has to terrify the Lakers.
It does, but again, remember the play-in
then they would
format.
get the second one, right? They would get the second game.
That would be 7 versus 8. So even if Steph scores 97 points and the Warriors defeat the Lakers, all the Lakers then have to do is defeat the winner, say, of Memphis and San Antonio, for example. Not that daunting challenge. What I have said all season is this. I would favor the Lakers in any series if they were healthy. So I want to see, starting tonight against New York, if LeBron is LeBron. If LeBron isn't himself, to me that changes the dynamic totally. What I said is I don't care how long it takes LeBron to get healthy. Come the start of the playoffs, if he looks like LeBron and Anthony Davis looks like Anthony Davis, then they can be surrounded by Mo, Larry, and Curly, and I'll let the older people try to figure out what the heck I'm talking about there, and I think they'll be fine. I think those 2 guys and 3 Stooges still are as good as anyone in the West. But LeBron has to look like LeBron.
All right, so let me ask you this. I'm sure throughout sports there are always records that we just say, oh, yeah, that's not getting touched. And the NBA had one, at least I believe the NBA had one that fell last night with the triple-double. Russ ended up getting number 182. And the way he's done it this year, it's not like he's gotten 10, 10, and 10. He's getting 30, 20, and 20. Talk a little bit about just how incredible this has been to watch this year.
It's incredible because you thought Oscar Robertson was the king, and then there was Magic, and no one was going to come close. I do think it's a somewhat contrived record that we put those together and decide that's what makes a triple-double. And again, think about the assists are always dependent on your teammates. Mm-hmm. You can make the world's greatest passes. And the other part of it is, and there are some people who look at triple-doubles and look at guys like Rajon Rondo and the way they get assists as guys who will never make the hockey pass, who will never make the assist that leads to the assist that leads to the score. Mm. So there are some people who look at Russell Westbrook and saying he's not sort of playing chess out there. He's just playing checkers. He's only going to hit the open guy. He's not going to hit the guy who's going to swing the ball to the weak side to hit the other guy. I'm not that caught up in triple-doubles as an ultimate measure of an NBA statistic. It has been a hell of a lot of fun watching Russ do this, and players go for it. And certainly when we sit there and we all have access now to the statistics and we see that Jimmy on Sunday is 2 rebounds away, sure, it makes the game more interesting. But I'm not so sure with all the complex metrics we have now of measuring players that something as arcane as the triple-double necessarily measures greatness. And all I know between you and me, Toast, I'm watching the end of the game last night. Yep. The Hawks playing the Wizards. The Heat desperately could use the Wizards to win. And Russ pulls up in a 1-point game and shoots a 3-pointer off a play with 6 seconds to go. So I'm watching my TV, and I'm screaming, no, no, no. And my wife in the other room thinks something god-awful has happened. She goes, what's the matter? I go, Russ missed. She then slammed the door, and I think it was back to House Hunters for her.
Now, let me ask you this. I mean, if the Heat win tonight, does Spo rest guys the last couple games, or does he try to make a push and try to take that 5 spot from Atlanta?
Yeah, it's just or New York. It just matters who's still alive. The more likely scenario after Atlanta won last night is for the Heat to possibly chase down New York. New York has games left tonight against the Lakers, likely with LeBron, against Charlotte, desperately playing not to fall to number 9 and have to win twice in the play-in. San Antonio fighting for playoff seeding in the 9-10 battle in the West, and Boston the last game. I think catching New York is more likely. So, yes, if the Heat win tonight, they're not going to rest on their laurels. And here's why. All the teams don't have to. Once you clinch your top 6 playoff seed, you're guaranteed 5 full days off minimum after the end of the regular season. So your rest will be there. Now, if you got a guy battling a nagging injury, sure, you sit him out, you give him time off. But otherwise, you're basically telling your guys, like I wrote at the Sun Sentinel today, everyone's getting a free 5-day paid vacation in South Florida if you get a top 6 seed. So I think you'll see a lot of teams maneuvering for seeds where maybe they wouldn't have previously when the playoffs could have started as soon as 2 days after the end of the regular season.
All right, we'll get you out of here on this. Something that happened that after we spoke last week. But David Griffin coming out with the Zion Williams injury, getting a rather nice little fine from the NBA because he took a shot at the way that Zion has been officiated this year. We know that in the NBA, just over its history, the bigger you are, the more you're going to get hammered. I mean, it happened to Shaq. It happens to everybody.
LeBron.
Yes. Does David Griffin have a legitimate gripe, or is this just, bro, you just have to keep your mouth shut? This is the way it is.
No, David Griffin did what he did knowing that you should have keep your mouth shut if you don't want to fine, but everyone stands up for their big guys. Sure. We saw Pat Riley stand up for Shaq. We saw Eric Spoelstra stand up for LeBron when he was getting hacked. The bigger guys definitely take more abuse, and that's what you do. You almost at the start of the season say, okay, we're going to put $100,000 aside for complaints about LeBron or about Zion or about Shaq, and you know it's part of the routine. So all David Griffin did was play the part of stand up for his guy because Zion wants someone to stand up for him. Is he being officiated unfairly? Probably not, because it's like you said, it's an accepted part of it that if you're that big, you're going to have to play through the contact because this is a man's league. On the other hand, you got to stand up for your players. You got to be willing to pay the fine. Most of these owners make enough money hand over fist from this or other businesses that they're fine. David Griffin did what he had to do, just like the Heat did over the years with their stars when they felt they were not getting treated fairly.
All right, well, Ira, huge game tonight, biggest regular season game in franchise history, so enjoy it and try to keep your indoor voice so you don't upset your wife, okay?
Exactly, and I'll be drinking heavily before and hopefully even more heavily after. Thanks,
Ira
Toast.
Winderman, everybody from the Sun Sentinel. We thank him every single week for coming on and joining us. This is Toasted Sports on OnSideRadio.com.
This has been the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat Report with Ira Winderman. Visit Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard. Come experience the oasis that customers deserve and the dealership that earned Dealer Rater's 2020 Consumer Satisfaction Award at Acura of Pembroke Pines. This is how we do it.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyAssDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody Ass family. Dr. Moody Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyAssDental.com.
If you missed NBA insider Ira Winderman and the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat Report, you missed this.
Andre Iguodala is sort of like that, the old Cadbury Easter egg. It only shows up, rarely, like once a year. Andre shows up in the fourth quarter. I almost have to check the bench early to see if Andre's at the game yet in the first quarter or the second quarter. He's done a really good job with measuring the time for guys. Eric Spoelstra knows. He's been through enough deep playoff runs to know.
The Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat Report with NBA insider Ira Winderman, exclusively at OnSideRadio.com. Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends. Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
The Florida Panthers will have home ice in the first round of the NHL playoffs after a 4-0 win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Chris Driedger picked up his 3rd shutout of the season. Playoffs are up next for the Ice Cats. The Miami Marlins, they lose again 5-2 to the Arizona Diamondbacks. This time, they're at it again tonight, 9:40 p.m. Pablo Lopez, Madison Bumgarner are the pitching matchup. Miami Heat, they're in Boston, as you just heard, for the most important regular season game in Miami Heat franchise history by the great Ira Winderman. Tip-off set for 7:30, and it will be on TNT. And Inter Miami, they're back in action this Wednesday night, taking on their roommates here at Dry Pink Stadium, CF Montreal. Big O, Alex Donner, they'll get you started at the pregame at 6:30. Chris Whittingham, Thomas Rongan, and Fernando Fiore, they will have the call of the game at 7:30. You are listening to South Florida's only locally owned sports talk station. This is OnSideRadio.com.
Welcome back to Toasted Sports. To reach out to Toast, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back to Toasted Sports.
Toasted Sports. Tuesday morning, 9:40, streaming live on OnSideRadio.com, YouTube, Twitch. So we had a little controversy that erupted while I was out of town over the weekend with the Kentucky Derby. Oh, we got crack-addicted horses running and winning, and so Medina Spirit failed drug test, had too much of a legal drug, double the amount, I guess an anti-inflammatory, and so now the second test will be done, but that could take weeks, like 4 to 6 weeks for that to come back. In the meantime, Bob Baffert, trainer, has been banned from Kentucky Derby. He will not attend the Preakness, but Medina Spirit will run in the Preakness this weekend. So if this is the weirdest thing, the betting. Did you see this, Sean?
Yeah, everybody gets to keep their money, right?
Well, but if you bet on the horse to finish second that could become the winner, even if that happens, you don't get to win that bet. Like, the bets apparently are all settled and it's over. Even if the result changes, the bet doesn't change, which I don't get that.
Yeah, it's a touchy situation because you can't take the money back.
Sure you can.
People have already spent it.
Well, no, absolutely. Yeah, there is an issue there. I would say if it was an online, like if you did it through like a Bovada or whatever, then you can just claw it back. But yes, if it was something that was done in person with a ticket, sure. But still, if someone is still holding the ticket and didn't tear it up from the second place horse, they should be able to turn that in and get a winning and get their money if they change the result, shouldn't they? That just seems weird. I don't know.
It's a technicality.
Well, so then what? Then what's to stop someone from doing a cheat like that, like fixing a race, because you know that even if they find out about it, the bets can't be changed. You will have won all the money. I mean, that just sets a dangerous precedent.
No, it does, but I think this is also one of those times where I don't know that there was a precedent already.
Well, no, yes, it happened before, 1968. I believe
1968
is the only other time that a Derby winner was then stripped of the crown due to a positive drug test. They didn't mention what happened with the betting back then.
I don't know how much betting was really,
I'm sure there was some betting. I'm sure there was some betting.
I'm sure there was, but not like today.
No, not like today. But listen, and Bob Baffert, he's got 7 Kentucky Derby wins. He's the most successful Kentucky Derby trainer of all time, but he's now had 5 horses get popped for drugs this year alone.
He's the Tony Bosch of horse racing.
Oh, my God. That's funny. So listen, man. Horse racing in the U.S. has a serious issue. So I wasn't aware of this. I'm not a real big horse racing fan. I mean, I follow horse racing 3 times a year.
Yep, same 3 times I follow.
And if the Preakness doesn't have the same winners as the Kentucky Derby, I could care about the Belmont.
Yep.
Okay.
I agree.
So that is the only reason why I know, and I might pay attention when the Florida Derby happens down at Gulfstream, but that's it. Just because that's a feeder race for the Derby. But man, so in Europe, they don't allow legal drugging of horses. So the drug that this horse was on, that was found in this horse, there is a legal amount that they could have had in that horse. They just had double that amount. Well, I guess in Europe, as I understand it, you can't have any. There is no legal doping in Europe because they believe that it's bad for the horses. Got to be honest, man. I think that they might have a good little plan over there that maybe we should be enacting here, because this is just between this and don't forget what was happening at Santa Anita like 18 months ago.
Yeah,
with horses dying weekly from broken legs and stuff on the track because there was something wrong there. So, man, I'll tell you what, to me, the horse racing industry in this country needs serious regulation. Like, there ain't nearly enough regulation. It is a free-for-all. And whatever regulation there is, it doesn't seem like the organization has a whole lot of teeth. It's up to individual tracks to do things. But, man, it's just a bad look. And I'm an animal lover. And when you're drugging up a horse so they don't feel pain, that's not good, because then if they hurt themselves, they don't know they've hurt themselves. And they will keep pushing, and then we have to see something where a horse gets put down on the friggin' track while your kids are watching. So they better figure it out, man. But Bob Baffert, bro, this is congratulations. You literally just pissed away your entire legacy. You're like A-Rod now. Bob Baffert, greatest trainer of all time. Yeah, he's also a cheat.
But in how many sports do you have 5 chances at this, though? This is the 5th horse.
This year.
I mean, come
Just
on.
this year,
At
Sean.
what point do you start
He's
saying,
had horses that have popped positive his whole career. He's legit. Like, dude, if this is the dirtiest sport in the country, then he is one of the dirtiest trainers in the country. Like, for me, horse racing and boxing are pretty much the 2 dirtiest sports we have in terms of corruption, cheating, just shadiness that goes on in the shadows behind the scenes? But dude, like, yeah, your entire legacy, bro, you just pissed it away. So he's going to have 2 horses in the Preakness. And also, Sean, that horse that might end up getting the victory was like a 25-1 shot.
Yeah, I know.
Like, there was twice the odds of, there were folks that could have made serious coin on that horse if they declared it the
I almost
winner.
put money on that one, but then I went with Bezos because it was 50-1.
You always go for the long shot. I gotcha.
Yeah.
You go for the long shot. Throw
the money there.
Throw like $5 on it. Yeah, no, absolutely. 50-1 shot, $5. That works. That's not bad. $250.
No, I was like,
off of 5.
In
Yeah.
the horse racing, it works. That's one of the things
cool.
where when they're 50-1, they have a chance. There's always that chance.
No, there's always a chance. You're 100% right.
Bury that
Always
horse on the inside line there. Get him buried up against the gate. Favored up against the gate and then drug your horse and
so
win.
now what happens? What happens if Medina Spirit goes out there and wins the Preakness on Saturday, and then wins the Belmont a month later, and then right around the Belmont or right after we get the results of the second test, and it's positive.
My question too is, how long does this stuff stay in the horse?
Well, no, it's so when they took the blood or whatever, they take like 2 vials of it, so there's tests in the same blood.
Well, no, but I mean, when he runs, there's only so much in between the.
Oh no! So I
racing.
I believe they did the test. I believe the test was done just before. I think it was just after the race. They draw the blood. So
I know that, but I'm saying, but the drug is still in his body when he runs these other events, right?
I don't know how long it stays in there. It's an anti-inflammatory, so it seems like maybe you would have to give him like an injection, like a couple times a week if it was actual medicine that you were using. I don't know. I'm not.
No, either way. That's why I was wondering. Like they're letting him race, so obviously it does not affect. I guess.
Well, according to Bob Baffert, they didn't give him the injection.
No, he ate the hay.
According to Bob Baffert, they don't give any of their horses this specific drug.
You heard I heard somewhere, and I don't know, man. But
I don't believe Bob Baffert for a second. Just stop.
Somebody took some medicine and peed on the hay.
Well, so
horse
Bob
ate
Baffert,
the hay, and that's how it.
So Bob Baffert was implying during a Fox News interview yesterday, because he prefaced, "No, I don't believe in conspiracy theories." Bob Baffert seems to believe or implying that because he's so successful, someone's trying to take him down. And this and someone like spiked the horse or whatever. That seemed to me like that's what the road he was trying to kind of, hey, we should go down this road. I don't believe in conspiracy theorists, but if you're going to go after the best trainer of all time, this would be how you do it.
But what about the other 4 horses? The same thing was there?
Exactly. Who didn't win the Kentucky Derby. Yeah, exactly. And then he said it was cancel culture. This is the result of cancel culture. Bro, cancel culture didn't inject your horse with 2 times the medicine it was supposed to have. Like, you got caught red-handed, bro. And you've been caught before. Like, you've paid fines before. You've been caught before. You've pled guilty to this before. So why would we believe you that this is, I've never given any of my horses this drug? Okay, sure. All right, whatever you say. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You are one of the most successful trainers in the dirtiest sport out there. Why would I think that you don't bend the rules or cheat a little bit? Of course you do. You want to be the best? If you know you can take a shortcut to get there and it's probably not going to get caught, most folks are going to do that. Why? Because they're greedy. They're selfish. They want the reward.
You're not trying.
Exactly. So, there you go, man. We will, just a whacked out story. But so now I'm hoping he wins the Preakness. Medina Spirit.
Wow, you're just hoping.
I want, because, dude, what? Hello. Chaos, Sean. Chaos.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for. I want to have a front row seat for the chaos. I want to watch it on my TV. I want to see the talking heads on NBC, their heads explode post-race when they got to talk about the fact that Medina Spirit has just won the first 2 legs, but might be cheating. I want Mike Tirico to have to deal with that.
What about the owner of that horse? Oh,
yeah, exactly. I don't know who the owner is.
They got to be mad.
Yeah, you think so? Well, because the owner now, if the second test comes back, the owner will lose that $2 million or whatever that they got for Medina Spirit winning the Derby. Like that money will go to the new winner. It's the betting money that doesn't change hands. We'll take a break. Kai Chisholm's coming up next. We'll chat with him. He'll be taking over at 10. This is Toasted Sports on OnSideRadio.com.
Toasted Sports returns after this.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Hey, what's up? It's Toast, and I've been telling you guys all about my buddies over at B&T Windows and Doors. And some of you said, hey, listen, Toast, I'd love to get PGT custom windows and doors installed, but funds are a little tight right now. No problem, bro. Y-Green. You can finance it with B&T Windows and Doors through Y-Green, so you can still get your PGT custom windows and doors installed. And yeah, you're not going to have to put anything down. It's awesome. That's the way I got mine installed. Call B&T Windows and Doors today. They'll tell you all about Y-Green and how to finance your windows. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126.
When you want local sports, 1260 WLESPN.
We're live and local.
Yes, what she said.
Well, it's what they wrote.
Look at it this way, honey.
Oh, no, here we go.
At some point, this was all live, and wherever it came from, it was local there.
You get that look whenever you stretch the truth or when you need your laxative.
Ain't it awful? South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
BYB Extreme Bare Knuckle Fighting Series presents BYB 5. Saturday, May 15th at the Fair Expo Center at Tamiami Park. Meet Dada 5000. See Bare Knuckle Brawlers fight live in BYB's patented triangle ring. The Trigon. The smallest and most confrontational ring in combat sports. Early action includes slap fights as seen on YouTube. Buy your tickets now at BYBtickets.com for BYB 5. Saturday, May 15th. Doors open at 6 p.m. BYB is proudly sponsored by BMCHam.com. Your choice for gold and silver. BMCHam.com.
Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. And you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations at 954-785-7565. That's 954-785-7565. We'll see you at Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.
At OnSideRadio.com, we chirp all day and night. It's time to do some more chirping with David Dwork at our Chirping the Cats report.
The regular season may be over, but your Florida Panthers are far from finished. The Cats wrapped up their regular season schedule on Monday night when they took down the Tampa Bay Lightning by the score of 4-0. Goalie Chris Streeter made 30 saves while earning his third shutout of the season, and the Panthers got goals from Alex Wenberg, Mackenzie Weegar, Juho Lammikko, and Carter Verhaeghe, who was playing in his first game since early March. Florida now heads into the postseason riding a 6-game winning streak, with the last two coming against the Lightning by a combined score of 9-1. Now the Cats and Bolts will retreat to their home bases and prepare for their first-round playoff series. Thanks to their season-ending victories over Tampa, the Panthers earned home ice advantage in the postseason series, which means games 1 and 2 will be at the BB&T Center in Sunrise.
Keep up with the latest on the Florida Panthers by subscribing on most platforms by searching Onside Radio, your home for South Florida sports. Now back to Toasted Sports. To reach out, send a text to 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Toast.
Final segment. His name is Kai Chisholm. Takes over after me. How are you, Kai?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I can't complain, man.
Yeah,
we
you're
got
here.
some midweek soccer tomorrow night. I'm excited about. Ira Winterman just called it the biggest regular season game in franchise history.
Yep.
Happening tonight. Panthers getting ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, hockey.
It's good. Well, it's good to be in South Florida right now.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
got stuff.
come watch Inter Miami tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I would say.
Have you? So
they're also pretty cheap right now, $30. So
oh no, yeah. So let me ask you this. So
the rest of the games are at like 90 right now.
So the game this weekend on Sunday. And listen, I don't, it's easy to rip on refs, but I'd be hard-pressed to think of a more incompetent officiating display than what I saw on the pitch. And here's my issue. It's whatever. It's a game, but this is one of the – this is going to be a prime example of why MLS gets so little respect globally.
I think the worst part of it is it went to VAR.
Yes.
And it still wasn't called. And we talked about it a lot yesterday where it's like, okay, there should have been 3 penalty calls.
Yes.
However, like one of them, the one on LGP in the box, you could argue, okay, I understand. But the handball, which also at the time, like in real time, of course I should have went to VAR, but in real time it just looks like Higuain skied it, which he technically still did sky it. But it's like, that last one should have been called no matter what. It's a penalty every step of the way.
Yep.
It wasn't like the Inter Miami broadcast was being biased. It wasn't like, it was like every single broadcast that had the game was saying that is 100% a penalty. And you can see it in real time. You can see that you think it's a penalty. Afterwards, you can see it's a penalty.
So
I don't understand.
So 4 games in, and you can legitimately make the case that we've been robbed of 2 victories by officials.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully tomorrow night's better.
Hopefully tomorrow night it can't get worse from an officiating standpoint. But listen, at least they're playing well. I'd say that Sunday was possibly the worst they've looked.
Yeah, and they still
drew. And they still drew, and they still should have won.
Yeah.
Lewis Morgan. Oh,
he's a great player.
He is a great player. Having fun watching him. All right, Kai, what do you got coming up today?
A lot of Tebow talk. That's the best way I can say it. We have a song that I'm gonna play that I really love.
Oh,
it's a Tim Tebow song.
Okay,
it's like 9 years old, but I remembered it yesterday.
All right. I look forward to hearing that.
Yeah, we're
all right. Kai Chisholm's coming up next. I'll be with you guys back at it tomorrow morning, beginning at 8. This has been Toasted Sports on OnSideRadio.com.
When you're looking to add that extra style and protection for your home or business, visit A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie or Sunrise, where plantation shutters are a major part of our business.